I hate to tell you this, but the change is you getting rid of somebody. You getting rid of somebody in your life. You putting them on timeout. Hello, Libra. This is your favorite attorney and real estate investing psychic medium, Don Rivera. It's a Northern Mystic Tarot. Let's have a peek and see what the universe has in store for you this week. Your bottom of the deck card, which is your environment this week, is the one of drama. Drama, say the drama for your mama. There's a conflict. There's an internal conflict when this card sometimes appears in your side of the ledger. But since this is on the side of the ledger that is your environment, know that there's going to be some drama this week. There's going to be some people who are warring with each other, some people who are competing interests and those kind of things. Leave that for them. Don't get involved. Do not look at my lips. Look at my lips. Don't get involved. Don't get involved. Seriously, this is not a week for you to do that. Okay, you rise above. Stay above it. Okay, Libra, what do you got for you? Your energy this week is Page of Swords. Loving it. Page of Swords comes out, and the Page of Swords say, "Hey, there's some new energy coming in. There's a new way of doing something. You need to make a change, and you've been thinking about making a change. You've been wanting to make a change." And this is the week to make the change, okay? And this could be news coming in to help you make that change, but this is a week of change. Be the change agent. When change is happening, you can either fight it or you can go with it. Now, with this, though, the sword is usually you making the change. So the news comes in that tells you change is necessary. The question is what is that change? Let's take another card and find out. The change is a Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords. Ugh. I hate to tell you this, but the change is you getting rid of somebody. You getting rid of somebody in your life. You putting them on timeout, or you putting them on bye-bye. You just are not part of my experience anymore. You're not helping me. And that's what I'm getting here. That remember that conflict that's environment around you? You're going to have maybe two friends that are going at each other, and they're constantly doing this. And you're like, and they want to put you in the middle. They want you to be the arbiter. It's not your job. Grow up. That's what you should do. Grow up, and maybe it's time for both of them put on timeout. Or if there's one who's always instigating, the other one tends to be always taking the brunt of it. Say, you know what, you go behave for a while. Go just so put them on a timeout. So again, you don't necessarily have to put them out of your life. Sometimes you can put them on a timeout long enough to say, hey, you know what? Find a little time without me. See how you like it. And maybe if you don't like it, then you'll realize you can appreciate me more and your other friends more. Have the conversations. They're not easy conversations. I totally get it. Maybe this would be a great conversation this week to have about boundaries. Maybe setting boundaries and saying, you know what? There's certain things that are acceptable. There's certain things that aren't acceptable. We have a great relationship and we're good friends, but there's certain things that you do that you cross a line. And I've got to make sure that you acknowledge that we can't do that. I don't want that in my life, that kind of stuff. This could be that week to have those boundaries. And remember, boundary conversations are good because they avoid conflict. I know you might think, oh man, as soon as I have it, it's going to be conflicting. It's not. Because what you do is you have a calm, clear conversation where they discuss their boundaries. They discuss some boundaries that they would like to have from you. Keep an open mind. Don't get pissy. And then you also discuss your boundaries and say, hey, look, these are things that have been happening in my world, and these are things I really am not good with. And they just tend to just rattle me up, or they tend to send me over and I have to bite my tongue. So let's not go there. One of the boundaries that these days are happening within families and within friendships is the political boundaries. Like, you know what? We're not discussing politics. Think about it. How many times over the last 2-3 years have your family and friends and you had issues and conflicts because of specific political beliefs? Boundaries would fix that. You say, you know what? We're not bringing politics and conversations of politics into our get-togethers, into our meetings, because it's not going to help any of us. Again, that's the boundaries you can set. You can set all kinds of boundaries. You can set economic boundaries. When we go out to eat, you're carrying your side, I'm carrying my side. We're not doing the, okay, you pay this time, I pay next time. No, and therefore you avoid that conflict. When the check comes, everybody's like, hey, 2 checks, please. And it's all done. And there's no conflict. There's no worry. There's like, oh, is it my turn? Was it their time? If I go, whatever, again, all these things are very important. So set some boundaries. Use this week to set boundaries. Use this week to identify those things which really could cause conflict in your life. If it's some folks who are causing conflict, and again, they are, and you know who they are because this one's identifying who they are, and that's in your circle specific, then you need to have the conversation to either fix the problem or eradicate the energy from your time here for a while at least. Okay. I like this. The King of Coins is out there. So the King of Coins is like, okay, I got this. I got this. By making these changes, and when I take control, I'm going to feel better about myself. I'm going to feel better about my environment because I've taken on the thing I needed to do. And so again, it's going to make your life freer. You're going to feel so much more comfortable that you had the conversation. And as that does, you're gonna piss some people off. This is a 9 of Swords, so you're going to piss some people off. But you know what? That's going to just be a short-term situation because they're going to change. They're going to change, and they're going to realize, yeah, you know what? Long term, they're going to say, you know what? He was right. He was right. I got myself in this negative space. I got myself in this whatever. And if he wasn't, or she, whoever is giving the advice, and if they were not aware of themselves enough and they did not appreciate my friendship enough, they would not have brought this to my attention, and I need to make the changes. So again, that's their energy. They're going to acknowledge in the end that you were wise to do what you did, and they're going to appreciate it. So make sure that you do that this week. Help save your friendships, help save your relationships by having the tough conversations and working through them. Boundaries. I'm telling you, boundaries are the conversation. There's also a YouTube video I did with a friend of mine, Shauna. If you go back under Sonora Mystic Tarot and type in boundaries, you will find a YouTube video for a whole presentation about boundaries, setting personal boundaries, and how important they are, how you do them so you don't affect people, and then when somebody crosses them, how you make sure that you're aware and make them aware. Hey, we had this conversation. I gave you a boundary. You're crossing it. And it's amazing how they listen. They do like, oh my gosh, you're right. We talked about this because again, it avoids the conflict. All right. And in the end, ultimately a 9 of Cups. So that's a 9 of Cups, 9 of Celebration card. Yay! It worked. This conversation worked. And now you're harmonious and your friendship's harmonious again. And this conflict goes away that's underneath. All the underlying conflict, it's gone. And now you're actually spending time with friends and you're enjoying it because they're not at each other and they're not coming at you and you're not having to be the arbiter. So this is a great energy. Please, I love this. Report back to me. Let me know how this goes. I am so excited for you. Hit that like, share, subscribe, and follow buttons. I would appreciate it. If you subscribe, you help me grow my channel. And if you share this, somebody else needs to hear this, you also help me grow my channel. So do the both, please. Subscribe and share. So super important. With that said, I'm going to let you go. Love, light, and blessings from me at Sonora Mystic Tarot and my family to you and to yours. Until next week, have a great one. Bye-bye.